Alive and alert on the north side of the dirt. It is your man D-Real coming at you with another Be Real with D-Real, where Edutainment explains it. You see the title. Why isn't T'Challa A-list? I have done several videos on this. I have done lives on this. For those of you fishing for stories, you could probably find something nice and juicy to add to your selections, and then claim you was thinking that all along. Is that how it works? Okay. I'm gonna do some night driving while we do some explaining about why T'Challa the Black Panther isn't an A-list character after 58 years. We're gonna talk about it. That's a deep subject. Well, comment, like, subscribe, and share the Be Real with D-Real page, so that when new material comes out, you get it. Comment if you need to say something. Like if you like it. Subscribe. Please subscribe. We need more subs, and share. Share this with everybody that you can talk to or come in contact with. Why? Because, first of all, it's very important material. And number two, Edutainment explains it. Ain't that what I always say? Okay, so I'm gonna give this a little less volume because it's a little, but it's gonna be great once I get into the explanation. Okay, the synopsis. Basically, T'Challa is a character that came out in 1966. T'Challa had all the makings of being an A-list character. He could have been Marvel's very first A-list black character. When he debuted in 1966 in the pages of Fantastic Four number 52, cover dated July, it was a runaway hit. At least that's what I was told, because I wasn't born yet. That tells you how long this character has been around. An old fart like me has... You get what I'm saying? And it wasn't like after he debuted in Fantastic Four, he just went away. He appeared in subsequent issues of Fantastic Four. He also appeared in Tales of Suspense with Captain America. He also, on the strength of that story, became an Avenger. And in his very first solo outing, saved the Avenger. Is this a character that's important enough to give that kind of status to? Okay, if he's an important enough character, why didn't that run continue? Why didn't that run in 1977 run for more than 15 issues if he was such a popular character? Okay, because he's coming off the heels of Jungle Action, where we got stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But we didn't feel he was an important enough character to transfer over to his own solo book sooner. Okay. Side note, he has been listed as having peak human strength in some entries. But I say to you, what peak human can break chains and tear a water wheel down with just a flex? That ain't peak human strength. He's tackling rhinos and shit. Stop playing with me. That's not peak human strength. All right? Now here's the thing. I feel like because of what Black Panther means overall as a symbol, on the strength of that alone, should be a reason to catapult him up into the A list. Why isn't he on the A list? A lot of people say Marvel Comics is afraid. Yeah, I said it. Marvel Comics is afraid to make T'Challa an A-list character. Why do we say they're afraid? Because you got the writers. You can't tell me you didn't have. You've always had the writers. Stan Lee is the writer. Don McGregor, a great writer. Jack Kirby, better known for his drawing, but that had wheels. But I mean, Jack's kind of tongue in cheek with his stories, so that's kind of how that run started to look, kind of tongue in cheek, and that's how everybody played it, and they just went on with it. Now, rather than taking T'Challa seriously, we relegated him to appearing in auxiliary magazines and maybe like a 4-issue run here and there. He had a nice run with Panther's Quest, but it was in the pages of Marvel Comics Presents. So there were, at any other time, 3 or 4 artists he was sharing book space with. So it wasn't until Panther's Quest came out in a trade paperback form that people started to take notice of it and say, oh, I mean, it was Gene Colan art. And again, everybody know I ain't that crazy about Gene Colan art, but that story was solid, and it introduced us to Ramonda, Queen Mother Ramonda, who, well, up until Wakanda Forever, was a staple cinematic. I feel like it was because it's Angela Bassett. Angela Bassett can make any role great, and I'll stand on that. Now, it's comics first that short-sheeted T'Challa, where we're getting 15 issues here, and then we don't hear about T'Challa for like another 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years. You know, relegated to cameos and also featured appearances. Now, when he debuted in '66, why didn't we take it and run with it then? All the white characters who debuted in the '60s got comic books. Journey into Mystery, Thor, got a comic book later on. Tales of Suspense, Iron Man and Captain America, both later got comic books later on. And all of those characters went on to star in Avengers comics. Can you imagine what would have happened if we said, after Dr. No, you're done. We're not making any more movies about James Bond. It was cool. A story about a British MI6 agent that gets into all kinds of adventures and sleeps with all kinds of women and uses all kinds of gadgets. Hey, that might make for a great franchise. Do y'all want to keep Sean Connery? Nah. Let's replace him. Let's get another British guy to play James Bond. It'll be great. Now, cinematically, everybody knows Black Panther made 1.3 billion with a B. If I made $1 billion off of something, why would I not be chomping at the bit to get that shit back out there in the public eye so y'all could see it and consume it and love it? So when is 1.3 billion not 1.3 billion? When it's 1.3 billion spent to showcase a black man. And lest we forget, a lot of that money came from China, where they covered his face up on movie posters. And it still made the money it needed to make. So we've proven, not only in comics is he a viable character, we proved on it. It took 50 years, but we proved on the screen he's a viable commodity as well. And then what do we do with our viable commodity? We kill it off in favor of trying to have innovative ideas with new characters. Not to say you can't do that, but are you going to take the Avengers out of an Avengers book and continue to call it the Avengers? We know solo superhero movies with Caucasian leads work. This man been in the grave for years, but we still talking about his performance. What made Kevin Feige, Nate Moore, and Ryan Coogler think we were going to forget a $1.3 billion performance? That doesn't make any sense to me. Also, on a side note, Christopher Reeve action figure coming out, McFarlane Collector's Edition. Looks like a cloth wire cape to me. I will be scooping that. But that ain't what we're talking about. We're talking about for good or ill, T'Challa is a viable commodity. No matter how you want to slice it, no matter how you want to argue about it, whether it's Priest, whether it's Kirby, whether it's Dr. Eve Ewing, Ta-Nehisi Coates, bruh, T'Challa is a viable character. And while there are other Black Panthers, please don't put the focus on other Black Panthers when that focus should be on T'Challa. Yeah, we got other Black Panthers. You can make movies about other Black Panthers, but you're always going to have people like me popping up saying, where is T'Challa? Why isn't this T'Challa? Why are y'all running with this? It's just that kind of a thing. Maybe if we strove a little harder to give shine to that character by doing things like, I don't know, giving him a series that lasts longer than 15 issues. And again, I did a video on how the hell does Miles Morales, who came out in the 2000s, have more issues, comic book wise, legacy, however you want to look at it, than the Black Panther, who's been around 66. You haven't been utilizing the character, Marvel. You just haven't. There's no excuse that you can furnish to say, it was comic book sales. Black Panther comic books wasn't selling like they were supposed to. Really? Okay. That comic book ain't selling? Somebody's buying it because it's still running. Shouts out to Brian Hill and Stefano Caselli. Keep doing what you're doing, boys. It's looking nice. So, in closing, the bottom line is this. There's two reasons for why T'Challa isn't A-list. Very simply put, us and them. Them because they refuse to see the value of the character and or downplay him in stories where he could otherwise be ascended. I get he's featured in Miles Morales' comic right now, but again, feature, not the center of attention. How about we have a Black Panther comic book and Miles Morales featured? Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be wonderful? But we are too busy. I ain't gonna say we. They are too busy looking for reasons and excuses not to give T'Challa shine. Oh, he's already dead. Oh, his son's dead. Oh, we don't know how to write this character. Bottom line, it's me. And don't let me be remiss. It's also us too. It's us too because we accept the thought process um, that this is the greatest superhero of all time and will always be the greatest superhero of all time. I don't need T'Challa to be the greatest superhero of all time. I just need him to be acknowledged. I need the station that T'Challa sits at to be acknowledged. He's a strategist. He's a tactician. He's a leader, master martial artist, scientist, magic user. Well, I mean, all of that can be explored cinematically, but they killed him off. And now with all of this talk of variants, which isn't T'Challa either, they think they're going to persuade us. Don't fall for that, y'all. Don't fall. It's still recast T'Challa until T'Challa the Black Panther from a 616 is recast. Not whoever it is y'all think would make a better Black Panther. Nobody's going to make a better Black Panther than T'Challa. Argue with as many people as you want to. That's the answer you're going to get every time. I mean, with the possible exception of people that love other Black Panthers. And there's nothing wrong with loving a different Black Panther. But understand T'Challa is the wellspring from which those other Panthers flow. Yeah, he's got Black Panthers that came before him, but those Black Panthers don't have 15-issue runs. Those Black Panthers weren't in the Avengers. Those Black Panthers didn't form Agents of Wakanda. Those Black Panthers haven't led. He deserves to be A-list status. We need to realize that he deserves to be A-list status. We collectively figure out he deserves to be A-list status. That's when he'll start to grow. And I want to leave y'all with a Black Panther quote. Pretend like you're Wakanda. We are Wakanda in that quote. So where it say Wakanda, just put your name. D-Real will no longer watch from the shadows. I cannot. I must not. I will work to be an example of how we as brothers and sisters on this earth should treat each other. Now more than ever. Let's treat T'Challa like that. Let's give him the status he deserves. Yo, that's it for now, y'all. But fret not. I will be coming at you with another one of the other ones. And until I do, yo, y'all be good. Be good to each other.